Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday to you. I believe this is our last Tuesday of the month of May. It is Tuesday, May the 28th, and it's shortly after the 10 a.m. hour. We're here at 901 Main Street in the heart of Old Town Conyers. We're calling our board meeting to order this morning. I hope that everybody had a safe, enjoyable, long weekend. I want to tell you today is Tuesday. It's not Monday. No matter how it feels, this is really, truly Tuesday. It always feels like a Monday when we come back to work on a Tuesday. But it is Tuesday, which is the reason we're here for this Board of Commissioners meeting. And good to see everybody back. So we're calling our meeting to order. And this morning we will have the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance from our very own Director Andrew Hammer, is our Director of Rockdale County General Services. Director Hammer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am not a pastor.
No, you're not.
So hopefully I will do Pastor Jameson proud this morning.
Okay.
All right. So please join me, if you will, as we bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come to you today in the midst of this season of life, this season of the county, and ultimately in the midst of a broken world. And as we come to you as broken people living broken lives, we've created rules and laws, systems of checks and balances, elections, political parties, all good things designed to aid us in governing ourselves. And we gather in this chamber to conduct such business, and we seek the wisdom to do so. But we also know who we are in the depths of our hearts. We know our struggles, our temptations, our failures, our judgments, our prejudices, our selfishness, and our lack of charity. We know our own brokenness. And we want to start by humbly acknowledging this before you and to each other so that we can be open and honest about who we truly are. By doing so, we put our hope not in ourselves or in our institutions or in our politics, but in you alone. We appeal to your goodness and your mercy today, and we ask that you come into our lives and send your Spirit to fill in the gaps where we are lacking, to cover where we fail, to comfort where we ignore, to soothe where we inflame, and most of all, we ask you to pour out your abundant grace upon us so that we learn to give grace to others, the grace to speak kindly, the grace to give the benefit of the doubt, the grace to seek unity, and the grace to love. As St. Francis of Assisi once said, your love and grace are wealth enough for us, Lord Jesus. Give us these, and we ask for nothing more. Amen. And we ask all this in your name, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Let's please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioners, I think we're going to have to get Director Hammer to lead us in invocation a little bit more often. I really appreciate his prayer this morning, and we, from time to time, as you all know, we do have directors to lead us in invocation, and we certainly do appreciate Director Hammer this morning. Item number 3, special recognitions and presentation, is an overview of employee wellness program and bail seal for workplace mental health, presented by Talent Management.
Good morning, Chairman, Madam Commissioners.
Good morning.
This morning, I am super excited to be able to invite our health and wellness team here to Rockdale County this morning, BLC. We're going to do a presentation on some of the things that they've been working on and as it pertains to mental health as we close out Mental Health Awareness Month, knowing that May is the month, but it actually takes place all year long. So at this time, I want to invite up Mr. Ikoria Walker, who is our Benefits and Wellness Administrator, as well as Ms. Ann Eskew, who serves as our Health and Education and Wellness Coach. So hopefully, if you are an employee in Rockdale County, you have seen both of these individuals with all of the work that they've been doing. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to them at this time.
Good morning, Chairman, Madam Commissioners.
Good morning.
I am Decoria Walker. I'm the Benefits and Wellness Administrator for Rockdale County. I coordinate the wellness program. Our wellness program focuses on 5 areas, and that's your healthy eating, your financial wellness, your mental wellness, physical activity, and your sleeping habits.
Hi, I'm Ann Askew, the Health and Wellness Coach here in Rockdale.
Good morning, Ann.
Morning. And I focus on all those areas plus anything anybody wants to work on. So it could be exercise routine, lowering blood pressure, nutrition, sleep. People don't get enough sleep anywhere. So I just go out and visit all the employees of the county and try to help them on their health journey.
All right, very good.
Next slide. Next slide.
So just as an overview of our mental health program that we work on here, we've had many webinars with Kaiser and Anthem, and I know Ramp Health just recently did one, and some of the topics that they covered are caring for your mental health, managing stress for your health, eating for mental health, which, you know, what you eat can impact how you feel. Coca-Colas are not a good fuel for your system. And even just living with anxiety and how to deal with anxiety. So those are some of the topics that were covered in the webinars. Next slide. And then part of the other parts of the mental health wellness in Rockdale include 5 on-site trainings with mental health first aid and 4 virtual trainings. And then our Rockdale County meditation room has been reopened. We've had virtual yoga sessions, and then we're doing wellness walks for May and June.
Very good.
Next slide. Some of the resources we have here at Rockdale County for mental health. We have EAP, which is offered through UNUM. They're for your family members as well. They offer 3 free counseling sessions for mental wellness. We have Ramp Health. They provide mental wellness awareness training. They can also point you in the right direction as far as resources. One of our providers, Anthem, they have virtual care center and also the Sydney app. Kaiser have the Kaiser Portal and also the Headspace Care app. Next slide. Bell Seal. So I'm talking about the Bell Seal, but first I want to thank Ms. Williams, Commissioner Williams. I never heard of the Bell Seal, but she brought it to our team. She noticed the things that we were doing here at Rockdale County, and she recommended that we apply for the award. Oh, wow. All right. So I want to thank you. All right, so the Bell Seal is a national health certification, recognized employers who take pride and concern and support their employees as far as mental wellness. They focus on 4 areas. That's the workplace culture, that's the benefits, compliance, and the wellness program. Here at Rockdale County, we scored an overall 89 out of 100 for this award. Thank you. With that score, Rockdale County received the 2024 Gold Bell Seal Award.
Wow. Another round of applause.
Next slide. So with this award, we received the Bell Seal logo, several promotional materials. We will receive the Bell Seal certificate. We will receive the 2024 Bell Seal toolkit. We will be featured on Mental Health America website, their LinkedIn page, and also their national newsletter. We will also receive the Mental Health America Workplace Wellness newsletter. Next slide. Are there any questions?
Well, I don't have any questions. I guess an acknowledgement or a statement. First of all, let's give them a round of applause for the presentation. You know, oftentimes we talk about health and wellness here in Rockdale County for our give or take 1,000 employees. It's a big, big deal. And now there's been such a conversation, Commissioner Williams, about mental health over the last 10 plus years, a lot of focus on mental health. And even in this space, even after COVID and the pandemic, a lot of people dealing with different levels of anxiety. and having to cope with, there's a whole new workforce culture out there. And we need these aids to help people cope and to get through the day. And sometimes you can take for granted how a person is dealing with something or whether they're dealing with something at all, but you just never know. It does us good news to know that we have a talent management department that has a division that focuses on health and wellness with a concentration particularly on mental health, to make sure that whichever employee we may have that may be dealing with something and that just may need some help. And the thing that I like about it the most is the level of confidentiality, because a lot of times people are reluctant to say, hey, I need some help, because they are in fear of someone looking at them or thinking of them in some type of not so good light or negative way, or they wondering if you're gonna go tell it. Gonna run tell it. So I really appreciate the work coming out of talent management, and particularly Ikoria and Ann. Let's give them another round of applause. They work together, they're a tag team. And then I'd be remiss, commissioners, if I don't mention Commissioner Williams with the Bell Seal. I didn't know what the Bell Seal, when I was reading it, I was kind of a little hesitant because I didn't know exactly Rutledge what that was, but I have a clear understanding of the Bell Seal now. Not only did she introduce it, did you hear we scored 89 out of 100? Yes. That means talent management, our health and wellness division, are doing things right to address the needs of our employees for the most part in Rockdale County. So that's just good news. Commissioner Washington, I'll yield to you any comments or questions that you may have.
No questions. Once again, congratulations. Thank you all for all of your hard work. It's, to awards are signals that you're doing the right thing, that you're headed in the right direction, that, it's a gauge to see where you are and where you can improve. So to get an 89 out of 100 on this was our first
time.
Yes,
Commissioner.
That's great, and we see that we can get that extra 11 points. But
Commissioner Williams.
So, I think it's really important to realize that it's important to be well-rounded.
Yes.
right,
And in order to be well-rounded, it means your physical health, your mental health, your, eating right, moving, getting some exercise, getting enough sleep, having your wellness checks and with your primary care doctor. It takes all of that to, to get a well-rounded, healthy individual. And I think that's something that all of us are trying to keep in balance all the time. And so I'm really excited because we know that with healthy employees, more work gets done,
Yes.
more creativity, more innovation, more, thought and goal orientation when you have people who can think clearly.
Absolutely.
And aren't distracted by physical or mental health concerns. So thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Can I read one more sentence from the president of, her name is Schroeder Stribling, and she's the president and CEO for Mental Health America. Sorry. Only one in 4 employers meet the Bell Seal certification standards. A recognition at any level means your organization is doing an excellent job of aligning your wellness investments with top-line industry best practices. Wow. So I just wanted to say congratulations again to our team. We did come in at the gold level for the very first time, so bypassing bronze and silver, coming in at gold, and we're definitely going to be striving for that platinum level next year. It was a very extensive process that Ikoria went through, writing essays, showing our programs that we had, the policies that we have in place. So I am super proud as well as super excited for the work that we're doing and also your support, your continued support. So thank you again, Chairman, Madam Commissioners.
Thank you all. Give them another round of applause. All right, that's good news. All right, let's go to item number 4, Commissioners, which is the approval of the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda as published.
I second that motion.
It has been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, item number 5, is the approval of the minutes from May 14th of 2024.
I move to approve the minutes as presented.
I second the motion.
Been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 6, unfinished business. Executive Director Rutledge.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 146 is Future Land Use Map Case 2023-02, an ordinance to amend the future land use map of Rockdale County, Georgia's comprehensive plan as amended, so as to redesignate property located at Northwest Ebenezer and 0 Highway 138 from the office institutional future land use category to the high density future land use category, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This is submitted for a second reading.
Commissioners, what's your pleasure?
All right, well, we'll try this again. I move to approve the second reading and to adopt this ordinance as presented.
I second that
It's
motion.
been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 147 is rezoning case 2023-09, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County, Georgia as amended by rezoning Northwest Ebenezer and 0 Highway 138 from AR Agricultural Residential District to MRU Mixed Residential Use District, to impose conditions upon the property, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This is submitted for a second reading.
I move to approve the second reading and to adopt this ordinance as presented.
I second the
It's
motion.
been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item. Well, we're down to the consent agenda. There's none. We're going straight to the regular agenda.
That's correct. And just
Okay.
as a reminder this morning, there are no items on the consent agenda, so we'll be going item by item and
Okay.
voting on each item.
Very good.
All right. That brings us down to the regular agenda. Item 236 is with Georgia Emergency Management and Homeland Security Agency, the EMA Department, for Emergency Management Performance Grant, EMPG, for fiscal year 2023. This is the acceptance of the grant in the amount of $25,565 with the local match of $25,565. The term is July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024.
I move to approve this contract as presented.
I second the motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 237 is with the United States Department of the Interior through the U.S. Geological Survey through Water Resources Department. This is for the long-term monitoring program. The amount is $254,000. The term is January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
Can we get an explanation as to what they will be doing?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Chairman. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, this is the long-term stream monitoring program through the United States Geological Survey team, and what they do, they monitor. We have 10 streams that they monitor for us. I'm sorry. They collect continuous real-time data for water level, stream flow, participation, and water quality.
Okay.
So these streams are the ones that lead into the Big Haynes and Little Haynes Creek,
Yes, ma'am.
where we get our water. So are they looking for sediment? What do you know what exactly they're looking for to make sure that we have quality water at all times?
Yes, pretty much. Some of the settlement, some of this water level, to make sure that we do have enough water level here in Rockdale County. It's several things, Commissioner. Majority is pretty much the quality of water
Right.
and what's coming from upstream, downstream.
I'm just being clear because, we have
Yes.
people questioning this
I
exact
understand.
same
Yes.
thing. So the United States government is coming in to help monitor our water and with this contract. Is that-
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. From
All right.
upstream, everything from upstream come downstream because, of course, settlement come from upstream.
Right.
If you have water come from upstream, downstream, you get settlement. So Rockdale County has set up through the United States Geological Survey team to make sure we have monitoring sites, and we have 11 of them. We have 10 of them throughout Rockdale County.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you, Director.
All right, thank you.
Commissioners, what's your pleasure?
I move to approve this contract as presented.
I second that
Been
motion.
properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 238 is with the Bureau of Justice Assistance through the State Court Accountability Court. This is an application for adult drug treatment grant to develop and implement a holistic approach to public safety and public health. The requested amount is $1 million with a match of $250,000. The term is October 2024 through September 2028.
I move to approve this contract as presented.
I second the motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 239 is with King's Third Music through the Parks and Recreation Department for the Friday Wind Down at Costley Mill Park. The amount is $5,200 and the day is June 7th, 2024.
I move to approve the contract as presented.
I second that motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 240 is with Avern Gums through the Parks and Recreation Department for an instructor for tennis lessons for youth and adults at Rockdale Tennis Center with a 70-30 split in the amount of $12,000. The term is through December 31st, 2025 with two 12-month options to renewal.
I move to approve this contract as presented.
I second the motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, next item.
Item 241 is with OpenGov through the Finance Department for the annual software services for budget and planning. This is an annual subscription in the amount of $60,534.09, and it's through April 30th, 2025.
I move to approve the contract as presented.
I second that motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 242 is a requisition through the Parks and Recreation Department for Deere and Company. This is for 3 John Deere Z-Track mowers. The amount is $41,518.62.
I move to approve this requisition as presented.
I second the motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 243 is a requisition through the General Services Department for Imperial Dade. This is for janitorial supplies for Rockdale County buildings. The amount is $18,000.
I move to approve this requisition as presented.
I second that motion.
Been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 244 is a requisition through the General Services Department for United Maintenance. This is to replace the HVAC and thermostat at 911 call center. The amount is $26,645. This is SPLOST funded and submitted for ratification.
I move to ratify this requisition as presented.
I second the motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
All right, item 245 is a requisition through the General Services Department for JACO Contracting. This is the emergency roof replacement at the Senior Center. The amount is $63,978.47. This is insurance reimbursement of $38,978.47. This is host funded and submitted for ratification.
I move to ratify the requisition as presented.
I second that motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions?
Yes, since insurance is reimbursing part of it, I'm just curious about what happened to the roof at the senior center.
The Director of General Services or Parks and Rec, either one of the directors can tell us what happened to the roof.
Good morning again. If you recall, I think Director Redmond did a slideshow about 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, and that was due to the storm damage that came through, and it had a lot of hail damage and a lot of torn shingles off the roof, and I believe this is the final portion of the reimbursement from the insurance company.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Director. All right, Commissioners, what's your pleasure?
They voted on it. We're going to item 246.
All right, very good. Next item, please.
All right, item 246 is a requisition through the Sheriff's Office for GT Distributors. This is for bulletproof vests in the amount of $24,196. This is grant funded with 50% reimbursement.
I move to approve this requisition as presented.
I second the motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions?
I like to comment that I'm proud to purchase bulletproof vests for our sheriff's department. It's definitely something that's needed. I just want to point out what this is.
Right. And you've been purchasing them already. You've
Right.
already
I
been
know that
purchasing.
this
Just want to let you know that you
right.
didn't just now start buying bulletproof vests
Right,
for the
but this
deputies.
is the first
They've
I've
been
remember
wearing
this year. This year.
All right. All right. I just want to say that. Any additional comments or questions? All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next item, please.
All right, item 247 is a requisition with the Sheriff's Office for NAFCare. This is for the 1.0 FTE MHP for the Mental Health Stabilization Unit. The amount is $29,250, and this is grant funded.
So I move to approve this requisition as presented.
I second that motion.
Been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions?
Well, this has been a long time coming. The sheriff has been working on this for a couple of years at least, and it's going to make a big difference in the jail, where they can put into a separate pod those inmates with severe mental health issues, and it'll be better for the regular jail population, but it will be better for these individuals who'll be able to receive care from a mental health professional for services that they need. Now, it brings up an interesting question because, there's a lot of talk about the fact that our jails have become our largest mental health providers. Right. And that's exactly what this is. But until there is another alternative, this is a good one.
Well, and hats off to you, Commissioner, for all the work you continue to do in this space. So, Commissioners, what's your pleasure? Where are we going to vote?
We're all in favor.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item, please.
All right.
Thank you for Executive Director Rutledge.
You are so welcome. That's what I'm here for. All right. Item 248 is a requisition for Rockdale Water Resources Engineering through Innovaze. This is for the Info SWMM Executive Suite floating. This is InfoCare renewal in the amount of $16,968.
I move to approve this requisition as presented.
I second the motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions?
Well, an executive suite floating, that's...
Director Pete's making his way up here.
That's a nice technical term. It does sound like something in the more social space. But here comes the technical engineer. Director Pete will tell us, what does that really mean?
Yes, it's pretty much just an engineering software that our engineers use, AutoCAD, Autodesk software to do engineering drawings.
It just conjured up a picture in my head.
Yes, ma'am.
She saw a real executive suite floating down some water somewhere, and it just didn't sit well with her, and you brought clarification.
Okay.
Thank you, Director. And thank you for that software, too. We need it.
You're welcome.
Whether it's floating or standing still, we need it. Absolutely.
Agreed. Okay.
All right.
The vote.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Some folks just can't.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
All right, item 249 is a requisition for the Rockdale Water Resources Water Treatment Plant through ACOM Technical Services to revise and finalize the updated EAP for the Jack Turner Dam. The amount is $63,400.
I move to approve this requisition as requested or presented.
I second that motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 250 is a requisition through the Rockdale Water Resources Department for Xylem Water Solutions USA. This is for pump repair of the Old Salem Pump Station. The amount is $26,725.72.
I move to approve this requisition as presented.
I second the motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 251 is an expenditure request through More Business Solutions for the Elections Department. This is for the mailing of 66,665 precinct cards in the amount of $41,747.45. This is submitted for ratification.
I move to ratify this expenditure as presented.
I second that motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions?
Well, we know it worked because I got mine Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got 3 of them at our house. Yeah.
All in favor, say yay.
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 Yes.
All right.
All right. Motion carries. Next item, please.
Okay, item 252 is an expenditure request through MCCI through the Technology Services Department. This is for the Laserfiche renewal software support, and the amount is $20,600.75.
I move to approve this expenditure as requested.
I second the motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 253 is surplus of equipment through the coroner's office and the clerk of court's office.
I move to declare these items as surplus as presented.
I second that motion.
Been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 254 is a future land use map amendment case 2024-03, an ordinance to amend the future land use map of Rockdale County, Georgia's comprehensive plan as amended for property located at 4714 Highway 20 Southeast from the medium density residential future land use category to the commercial future land use category, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This is submitted for a first reading.
I move to approve the first reading and refer this ordinance to the Planning Commission as presented.
I second the
It's
motion.
been properly motioned and second. Are there any additional comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
Item 255 is rezoning case 2024-06, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County, Georgia as amended by rezoning 4714 Highway 20 Southeast from C1 Local Commercial District to C2 General Commercial District, to impose conditions upon the property, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This is submitted for a first reading.
I move to approve the first read and refer this ordinance to the Planning Commission.
I second that motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 256 is rezoning case 2024-11, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County, Georgia as amended by rezoning 2000 Parker Road from C1 Local Commercial District to C2 General Commercial District, to impose conditions upon the property, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This is submitted for a first reading.
I move to approve the first reading and to refer this ordinance to the Planning Commission as presented.
I second the motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any comments or questions?
Can we have a teachable, can we get the difference between C1 and C2?
Director Njoko will come up and teach us. For those that don't know.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Chairman. Good morning, Commissioner Washington. The difference that you're looking at between the local commercial district and a general commercial district is the placement of where those housings would be in the local central area. Commercial lines is where it's zoned on the original comp plan. So when they're rezoning to move from a local area, that's in the downtown area, and the other stuff would be on the outskirts where we have commercial structuring. So it's not a major difference, it's the placement. Did it make sense? No. Okay. Let me try again. C1, local commercial district area. On the comp plan, designated areas that have local commercial district. C2, general commercial, meaning that it could have been an area that was once rezoned for housing or have industrial parks, but now it will be used as a commercial area. It's where it's placed when you're looking at the comp plan, the total plan.
Okay.
Does that make better sense?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Director.
I can send
Thank
it
you so
out
much.
to you. Sorry about that.
And the key word
Okay.
is rezone, and I think there's an opportunity for you to get with the director after for a little bit more
Absolutely.
in-depth understanding, Commission. But the key word is rezoning here with this whole piece. Absolutely. All right. So, what is your pleasure?
Just all in favor. Now it's time for the vote.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right.
Next item, please.
Item 257 are volunteer appointments. The first is with the Department of Family and Children's Services, a reappointment of Ms. Shavern Jeter. The term would be June 30th, 2024 through June 30th, 2029. The second are 3 appointments for the Animal Control Board. The first is Danielle Muckenfuss. These are all for 3-year terms that would start immediately and end July 1st, 2027. The second is Ms. Lori Todd. The third is Dr. Lois Lassiter.
Commissioners, what's your pleasure?
I move to approve these appointments as presented.
I second that motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. I want to take a moment to say thank you to all of these citizens who continuously give of their time and talent to serve on these boards. And I see Ms. Todd is here this morning, and she's been a strong, long-time advocate for animal services, and she was down in the trenches with us when we made some major changes to animal services. So we certainly do appreciate Ms. Todd and all of those others who certainly give of their time and talent to be a part of these volunteer community boards. They make a big difference, and certainly we can't do it without them. We can't do it alone. All right. Okay, next item, please.
We have to vote on these.
We didn't vote on that one. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
All right.
Keeping it straight. Keeping it straight.
A lot going on this morning. Okay, item 258 is a resolution consenting to the de-annexation of certain real property owned by Shawanda Williams, which is located at 3059 Northeast Leonard Road, Conyers, Georgia, and for other purposes.
I move to approve this resolution as presented.
I second the motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any additional comments or questions?
So my understanding is that she's asking to de-annex from the city and come back into just the county. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item 259 is Rockdale County Board of Education through the Sheriff's Office. This is a memorandum of understanding for the county to donate a Ford Crown Victoria for the use by Edwards Middle School.
Commissioners, what's your pleasure?
So I move to approve this contract as presented.
I second that motion.
It's been properly motioned and second. Are there any additional comments or questions?
So what is the middle school going to do with the Crown
Chief Sanders,
Victoria,
are you
which
familiar with this one?
happens to be old, I'm sure.
Okay, Director.
We are. Yeah.
All right, Director Hammer, you're
Good morning
familiar.
again.
All right, okay.
Must be my lucky
Middle
day.
school and the police car.
Middle school and police car, but it's fleet. So it's one of our decommissioned police vehicles. Edwards Middle School has a public safety law enforcement program, so the middle school children will not be driving it. A couple years ago, we donated another vehicle to them and found the sheriff's office donated it, found it very valuable. And I'll just read you a quote from their office that a strong relationship between Rockdale Sheriff's Office and Rockdale County Public Schools creates a trust factor with the younger generation attending the schools. So they use it for training, they use it to get them familiar with the inner workings of police work.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure if it was something like that or if it was automotive repairs or, you know.
Yeah.
No, this one is beyond repair. I think it's 215,000 miles, and the brain of the vehicle is no longer functional. So.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Sounds like it's more in line with community policing and building rapport relationship with the young people so they can have a different approach to law enforcement and understanding how the police car is set up. Absolutely. I think it's a great opportunity.
I do too.
It's a great way to
Absolutely.
introduce kids to do. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carries. All right. So that was, I think that was pretty lickety split there.
It was.
Down to public comment.
So we're down to public comment, but I do not have any red cards if anyone wants to speak this morning.
All right, we'll go right into board comments.
Okay.
All right, start with Commissioner Washington. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Yes. First, I would like to thank the personnel in the water department, to include Deputy Director Jamison, for helping me help work out some citizens' concerns. And I've been receiving email after email talking about how we stepped outside of the box and really helped some citizens repair and just an outstanding customer service job. So I wanted to publicly thank you all and commend, because that's leadership, and that starts from the top of directing people to think outside the box, to be solution oriented and not just say we can't do this because of whatever. So I wanted to thank them publicly, because it was a very difficult situation, and once everybody started coming up thinking solution oriented, we came up with solutions instead of just harping on the problem and saying we can't do it. So thank you, and I'm sure those citizens thank you also. The second thing is the brunch in the park. Once again, our outstanding Parks and Recreation Department did an amazing job. The swing was an added touch. We had a great time. I think it had to sell out. It was full. Everything was full. Great event. Another excellent event from Parks and Recreation. Wanted to say congratulations to Andre Thomas. He received his certification, his certificate for the Certified Professional Manager Program. It was a 9-week program sponsored by the University of Georgia. I think Director Redmond and Director Hamer have gone through it before, so now that I've been intricately involved with this process, I'm even more impressed. But they had people from all over the state of Georgia that came and got the certification, and so his graduation was last Thursday. After having to be there for 3 days, they had capstone projects and community service projects. It was a very grueling degree, or certification, but he did it, and I'm very proud of him. Veterans Day. Yesterday during the Veterans Day program, they had the picture of the 3 service men and women who were actually killed in the Somalia, was that or Jordan, the conflict, and they had the pictures there, and I think that was the most poignant memorial service that I've been involved with since being here. I tell people all the time that I'm a member of a family who has a long history of servicemen and women, and I've been the one that prayed them through. Most people know that my brother he retired from the United States Army. He works for the Department of State, and they just sent him to Jordan this past weekend for Memorial Day. So while they were talking about that, I was a little teary-eyed, because once again, we're praying for his safe return. But it just brought home all of the sacrifices that these people do every day, because I say it all the time. I've been to a lot of countries, and I'm always glad to come back home. We might have our problems here in the United States, but this is the best thing going. And I'm very, very proud of our servicemen and women who fight the good fight for our freedoms, because at the end of the day, even though we might fight politically or what party has control, we get to do it. We get to fight. We get to go to the polls. We get to march. We get to denounce our government, talk about the elected officials, which a lot of people in this county do well. But we are allowed to do that, and we cannot take that for granted. And that is what Memorial Day should be showing us every day, every year. But every time you see a serviceman or woman, you need to thank them for their service, because they did not have to make it home. Anyway, those are all my comments.
You may think of something else.
I'm sure I
Commissioner
will.
Williams?
So, a couple of things. As far as Veterans Day, I hated to miss the service yesterday. I do enjoy those.
And yesterday was Memorial Day. I think I just better go ahead and clear
Did I
that
say
up.
Veterans Day?
know you
I
get a
meant to
little
say
confused. That's okay. It's okay.
Memorial Day.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm
That's
here.
why you're
It was
here.
Memorial Day.
It's Memorial
Veterans
Day. I'm
will be on
sorry.
November the 11th, okay? So it's all right. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It was
Memorial
okay.
Day.
I knew exactly what you was talking about. I just wanted
So
to clear
did
that up.
Thank you for clarifying for me. Memorial Day. I hated to miss the service. But it's been interesting because I've been going through a veterans caregiving program that the VA puts out. And it's 10 modules, and it's pretty comprehensive. And it reminds me of the support services available to veterans that they may or may not be taking advantage of. But there are a lot of support services available. I don't know how easy they are to access, but they're worth looking into because of the good programs that they have put together for our veterans and to support them after they come home. The well-rounded idea of a person, that's really what these veteran services are about, is trying to help people, help those coming from the military return to civilian life, to live well-rounded, healthy lives, whether it's mental health, physical health, whatever, but they're looking for well-rounded people. That is in the best interest of our communities and our country, to have well-rounded people. Mental Health America, which is the one that certifies the Bell Seal, is a major organization dealing with mental health. And as I was looking at their website, this is what they say on their front page. Mental Health America remains focused on next generation prevention, on the health and well-being of future generations, on systemic reforms, and on embracing new frontiers of science. Our work remains guided by the voices and wisdom of lived experience and the needs of the next generation. And there's been a lot of talk, especially during COVID and since, of our youth and the mental health issues that our youth are having. And this organization is well aware of that, as are many of the mental health organizations. And I think, but it's guided by the voices and wisdom of lived experience. And so it says that while, we have become more comfortable in the last 10 years talking about mental health, there's still a lot that's not said. And that wisdom of lived experience can be key in helping somebody else find a solution or recognize or be willing to seek help if they need help. So this is the end of May, which is Mental Health Month. So, but it goes all year. It's sort of like October is breast cancer awareness, but it's 365. And the same thing with mental health.
Well, thank you, Commissioner. And as we wrap up the month of May and mental health awareness, once again, I want to take a moment and thank you again publicly for all of what you do to shine the spotlight on mental health and mental illness. You have certainly become the champion in terms of the #1 advocate on this board, and I believe in this community to really shine the light on mental health and mental illness. I also want to give you credit for paving a pathway to the Stepping Up initiative when we talk about the intersection of mental health and criminal justice between law enforcement and those people they encounter out on the street. I think it's very important that our law enforcement folks are trained and have a level of alertness and awareness as they are engaging and encountering different situations. They need to know what they're walking into. Not only that, they need to know how to handle those situations. And sometimes in a split second of a situation, there is no manual. But having the proper training, and a good number of our deputies have that training and will continue to go through the training, but you've done a fantastic job with bringing those two entities together in terms of locally here with law enforcement and mental health and mental illness. So thank you for all the work you've done.
Thank you.
As we and you're right, it doesn't just stop or end with the month of May. We've got a whole year as situations and things happen, and people be really true. I think almost every family now has something or someone that is dealing with some form or some level of mental illness and mental health. And I really appreciate, again, our Department of Talent Management and our Health and Wellness Division, both Ecoria and Ms. Ann, in terms of what their presentation this morning about what we're doing for our employees. You're right, this is a new space, a new workforce culture, and they deal with things differently. So we have to have new tools in our toolbox to be able to address some of the things that we're dealing with. I want to shift for a moment. I want to go straight to Parks and Recreation. I want to ask that Director Redmond would come up and tell us what's coming up next. And we're going to highlight a couple of things. Commissioner Washington has already highlighted a few things, but Director Redmond, you got so much going on this summer with Parks and Recreation. Tell us where you are now.
Good morning, Chairman. Good morning, Madam Commissioners.
Good morning.
First, I want to start by saying this past weekend we had the beach opening at Costing Mill, which was a very good turnout. We had roughly 700 people attend.
Wow.
Residents and non-residents attend the beach opening. We also had the splash pad at Millstead to open yesterday.
There was cars everywhere.
Yes, I passed by there.
Whether you want to call it board tubs or spring road, but there was cars everywhere in Millstead.
Yes,
at the end. I get a little jealous. I got to say this, Commissioner, because when I see cars from out of county coming over, it kind of frustrates me. I'm like, hey, will you move so the Rockdale people can get here? But it's a big hit, and there was kids everywhere at the splash pad.
They love the splash pad, as well as the. Let me say this about the splash pad. So last year we did experience quite a bit of vandalism at the splash pad at Millstead. So this year we installed some new cameras that also points at the vehicles and not just a splash pad now. So, just putting that out there, for people to just be mindful not to, tear up the equipment because at the end of the day it really hurts the kids, and we have to shut it down and we have to order new equipment. It takes a while because some of the equipment comes out of Canada. So,
and there's a cost involved. There's a cost. There's a financial burden as well.
Yes,
absolutely.
So I just wanted to highlight that. Okay. We have the 20th annual rubber ducky race coming June the 13th. That will be at Costing Mill Park. The address to enter that is 2599 Salem Church Road. The ticket sales has ended. That ended on May the 17th. However, if you just really want to call and see if you can get your duck in, you can contact Melissa Pugh at 770-283-4778. She may not want to turn down any money. But the rubber ducky race is very good. It's a very interesting activity. You put the ducks in the water, they race to the finish line. So all the money raised is for a great cause. It goes to the programs of the senior center. The senior services, including Meals on Wheels, congregate meals, grandparents raising grandchildren, transportation vouchers, wellness, and pet bites. So the money is for a very good cause.
Very good. Very good.
Next, I want to highlight the summer concert series that we have coming up. June the 30th, we will have the Erica Dawson exclusive. This is also at Costing Mill Park. So we did have an opportunity to test the new parking measures that we have at Costing Mill. They work great. We opened both sides to allow cars to enter simultaneously. It prevented there being a line at the park of traffic. We didn't get any complaints. No one said anything negative about the parking. Everything went smoothly. So we will be implementing that same parking procedure for the summer concert series, where you will be able to enter off of Costing Mill Road and Salem Church Road to park simultaneously.
Very good.
So that concert starts at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And again, it is June the 30th, and it is Erica Dawson exclusive at Costing Mill Park.
And what folks need to know that coming out to that park?
Very good, Chairman. Thank you so much for reminding me of that. There is a $5 parking fee per car, not per person, per car. There's a $5 parking fee. So please be on the lookout for that. We ask that you have cash. If you don't, we will work with you to make sure that $5 get collected anyway.
So you'll need your lawn chair.
You need your lawn chair.
What's allowed? What's not allowed?
What is not allowed is alcohol in your coolers. We have vendors on site. We have food vendors on site. that we have that are certified to pour and serve alcohol through the county processes and procedures. So we will be checking coolers. We will be monitoring bags and things of that nature for safety precautions.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Very good.
I think Friday right now. Thank you. There was one I can't remember. The Friday wind down is June the 7th. You want to come up, Miss Banks?
You might as well. She's the boss.
It's her
of
event.
it.
You know, I get tired of talking about the events that they implement. It's her event.
Come on up, Miss B.
Come on up, Miss Banks.
Come on up.
You're right, and it almost slipped my mind. You're right.
Happy Tuesday, Chairman and Commissioners.
Good morning.
Madam Commissioners. So our Friday wind down, I'm super excited. It's next Friday, June 7th. You don't want to miss it. This is our first Friday wind down of the year. We get so many raving reviews just all the events that we've been hosting. Just to piggyback to Commissioner Washington about the Sunday brunch in the park. And I'm happy to see that people just not in Rockdale are attending our events. We have people coming from Henry County, Clayton County, Cobb County, so that's just a great thing. And even I've had people to say, I think I need to move to Conyers. You guys have a lot of things going on, so that makes me smile when people say that. But we are super excited. Next Friday, you don't want to miss, June the 7th, there will be a $5 parking fee per car, as Director Redmond has stated. But you can come and enjoy, right after work, relaxation. You can come enjoy some wine, music, and we'll have food vendors as well. You definitely don't want to miss this Friday wind down. We're bringing the same Events by Gas. She will be there hosting.
Yes.
She will be participating. I just wanted to put that out there
Yes.
at the Friday wind down. She's super excited about participating.
You almost should have said that first. She is so good. So while you're there, and I know the director said something, and also the commissioner, but I don't know, do we have photos from the Sunday brunch? I mean, that was a huge hit, and you all did a different layout, the whole.
I can send mine.
I felt like I was somewhere in the tropics with the colors and the palm trees and
You want me
the
to
whole
send
scene. Talk about it.
So yes, we do have a video coming. It is not ready yet, so we'll try to get that up by the next BOC meeting because we do want to share that just to show the experience and what all was available. And everybody had a really good time, very good turnout.
So
very
will there be
positive
another
feedback.
Sunday brunch, or because that's the question? I know you're doing the Friday wind down, but can you speak to that?
So we did only plan one Sunday brunch this year.
Oh,
we have
man.
2 wind downs planned. We have 4 concerts planned. So that is the plan right now. We are looking to see how creative we can be to possibly implement another one. So Ms. Bing and her team.
I'm not trying to put pressure on Parks and
Sounds
Rec,
like
but
you are,
let me, commissioners, I got to say this because they introduced the Sunday brunch to us last year, and I'm telling you, it was a big hit. But then when you add Events by Gas and they partner, the food from this caterer is just amazing. Then this year, the decor. All of the decoration, the whole look. When I walked into Costly Mill, I'm like, wow, how universal and multi-purpose is this facility? It has it looked like I was somewhere in Orlando. The whole look was just a beautiful setup. You guys did a great job. And folks were constantly asking, when is the next one? So you got a lot of pressure on yourselves because now you're doing the Friday wind down. There are big expectations. So, Ms. Bing, tell us a little bit more about the Friday wind down because you just told us you may not be doing another Sunday brunch this year.
So we will host 2 Friday wind downs.
Okay.
As I stated, next Friday will be the first one, June 7th, and then we'll host another one in August.
And you're partnering with Events by Gas.
Yes, on this one we are partnering with Events by Gas. We have other food vendors. I just wanted to highlight Events by Gas, but we do have other food vendors that will be present. And we will have the Grand Scheme. They will be performing at the Friday wind down.
Grand Scheme is the
The
entertainment.
music, the entertainment,
Okay,
the band. Yes,
okay.
they performed last year at the Summer Concert Series at one of the series. So they will be coming back to perform live for us at the Friday wind down.
And once again, $5 per car.
$5 per car. We want to highlight that. There will be wine for sale for purchase and food for purchase through the vendors. Please make sure you bring your lawn chairs. There is limited seating. We do have seating on the patio. First come, first serve. But we do encourage you to bring your lawn chairs where you can sit outside of the event center and listen to live music.
All right,
Yes.
very good.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Very good. Thank you.
One more announcement, Chairman and Madam Commissioner. So Parks and Recreation is transitioning to a new registration software platform. It's called Amelia Smart Rec. We were previously using Rec 1, so we're going to Amelia Smart Rec. And the reason for that is Rec 1 at this point is very antiquated. It does not keep up with some of the systems and processes that we currently have in place and that Parks and Recreation is currently moving towards. So it's been something that we've been wanting to put into place for a couple of years now, and we're finally have that up and running. So because of that, we're asking that residents, as you come into Johnson Park, asking for your patience. You will have to re-register as you're coming in now because the software, we were not able to migrate it because they're different. They just don't communicate with each other. So we have to ask people to create new accounts to register for the classes. All the classes and everything is still the same. Nothing has changed. Just the platform is different. So you have to kind of re-register for it. And I know Director Mims, Executive Director Mims was in Johnson, I think last week. And she just stopped in the lobby and was assisting someone with setting up an account. So it really is a team effort. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm helping her set up an account. So I really appreciate that. But it's not a difficult process. It's very user-friendly. Once you click on the link or scan the QR code, it just walks you through the steps.
So I want to challenge you a little bit, Director.
Yes, sir.
I hear the new software we go into, and things do change. I heard you say it was antiquated. What have you all done to alert folks who are already in our current database of this change?
Great
because
question.
people do kind of struggle with change a little bit. So what are you announcing it? Or is there signage? What are you doing?
So we have about 30,000 emails in our database. So we've sent that message out to all these email recipients.
Okay.
And we've also put it on our social media pages. It's also been on Channel 23. It's also been, PR has also been putting it out for us as well. So we've been making sure that we get the message out.
Very good. Communication is the key. That's good. Very good.
That's all I have.
All right. You know, so much. Thank you, Director. Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Bing. I tell you, arts, culture, and entertainment has been a big thing here. There's been a big request from our citizens. If you all remember, I think we talked about this a little bit. We started the summer concert series in the back parking lot in 2017. And it has grown and grown and grown. We're getting an average of at least 1,800 to 2,000 people coming out each concert now. A lot of folks. I really appreciate Director Redmond and his team with the redirection or maybe reconfiguration of the parking arrangement out at Coastal Mill. That had been a challenge. Folks coming down that hill northbound on 138. Now you're giving them the option to actually enter from Coastal Mill and or the event center at Salem Church. So that gives folks two different points of direction, but they're exiting one area. Is that correct? They're exiting out one space. Is that right? Do I have it right there? They're exiting all the same direction?
We actually have team members on site to direct people out. If you came in on Costa Mill Road, you will exit out of Costa Mill Road. You would not be allowed to turn to go towards 138 at all. We have sheriff's deputies out as well. Okay. And the same for Salem Church Road. If you enter Salem Church, you exit out that way, but you cannot go towards 138. And that's for safety reasons, safety precautions. So the sheriff's deputies have done a great job with helping us direct people out.
That's very good. So that makes an easy flow, an even flow of traffic, and just more crowd control and traffic control. I also want to highlight one thing that I really appreciate about particularly the summer concert. The fire department, fire and rescue, has the bike medics, and so they have the bike medics, and now we have our own transport unit. We can just station it there. We don't have to wait in the event, because y'all know it get hot. It's going to be hot on June 30th. And if somebody happen to have an incident, we don't have to wait for the dispatcher to send them out. We'll have them already there on site. So all of these things have been put in place and really thought of to make sure that we can bring a quality arts, culture, and entertainment opportunity for all of our residents. And this year, the City of Conyers kicked off their spring concert series. Do they have one more to go, or they've wrapped up?
I think they have another one. The Michael Jackson experience.
They've got one more to go, and they've been bringing out a big crowd as well.
Absolutely.
People just love being able, the new thing on Facebook is we're outside. People like being outside, so that's a big deal. So we are so happy about that, and we'll just continue in that spirit. I want to go back a little bit to the Memorial Day program that was here in Rockdale County yesterday. We had some true inclement weather at the top of the morning, so we were unable to have it out at the Memorial, the Walk of Heroes Park. But we were able to bring it into the church over at Bethel, and we certainly thank them for allowing them to partner with Parks and Recreation and the Walk of Heroes to bring it on the inside so that we could have the Memorial Day program. And as we were talking, Commissioner Williams, about the many different things that we have done and that we continue to do to pay tribute to our local heroes, particularly those who have, for whatever reason, need assistance getting to some of the things. We can't talk enough about the Eagle transport van that we have and that this board agreed to purchase right at the tip top of COVID. We couldn't really activate it and implement it because of COVID. But we've been able to pick up the pieces and get so many of our local veterans to their doctor's appointments. And I like the way that senior services and veteran services they say door through door service. But let's take a look at the video.
Rockdale County Senior Services is offering transportation for any honorably discharged veteran residing in Rockdale County, ages 18 and older, to and from their veteran appointments at no charge to them.
Hello everybody, my name is Alfred Halliday. I am the driver for the Vet Transportation Service of Rockdale Senior Services.
My name is Stephanie Lewis. I am a veteran driver at Senior Services.
Inside Eagle, there's the driver's cabin with captain's chairs. There are 2 attendees at all times. It is equipped with items to keep the veterans feeling comfortable, safe, and secure during the trip. Behind the driver's cabin, there are 3 stationary chairs where the veterans can ride. Behind that, there are 3 chairs that can be lifted to accommodate for 2 disabled veterans in wheelchairs. And at the rear of the vehicle is the lift to safely lift wheelchairs into the vehicle.
I've served in the U.S. Army. I had a stroke, and it caused me to have early onset dementia. And when I had the stroke with the dementia, the doctors took my driver's license as well as my nursing license and said I couldn't live by myself. And so I currently live with my oldest daughter and my son-in-law and their children. And she has to take me to my appointments, and sometimes she has her grandchild, who's only 3. It's very, very hard to keep a toddler happy in a car when you're sitting in a hospital in a parking lot. And so this service is really, really going to benefit. And if it wasn't for the senior center, I'd be lost.
The program offers 3 convenient pickup locations: the Olivia Haydale Senior Center, the Rockdale Veterans Affairs Office on Taylor Street, or at their home, and offers trips to the Veterans Hospital in Decatur and the 2 VA clinics in Stockbridge and Covington.
It's not going to be long before they take my driver's license away. Then what do I do? That bus right there. No, they took me to the VA hospital in Decatur, Georgia. They come and picked me up at my house, which I didn't expect it. They came and picked me up, and we went to Decatur. I've never been so comfortable in all my life with Alfred driving and Stephanie talking. And when we got there, she escorted me to my first visit, which was the audio department on hearing aids. And when I got through, she was waiting. She said, "Where do we go now?" I said, "We go to the bronze team, which is on the 11th floor." So she says, "No, I'll stay down here. You go on up to the bronze floor and see your doctor." So I went up there to see my doctor. And after I got through, I found Alfred sitting in the waiting room waiting on me. So believe me, that's the best thing in the world that ever happened. Like I say, when they take my driver's license away, I won't be able to go to the VA.
For more information or to register, contact the Senior Services Transportation Manager at 770-278-7284. Our veterans served us, and now we want to serve them.
Yes.
So, we have used the Eagle several times when I have been unavailable to take my husband to his appointments. And he's no longer able to drive, and so this has been a new occurrence. They are the best. Alfred and Stephanie are really great. And I will tell you that since his primary care doctor is at the Lawrenceville outpatient clinic, they now are driving to Lawrenceville also, in addition to the one in Newton County and in Stockbridge, and of course Claremont downtown. But they are just, it's a phenomenal service that I appreciate personally, but that's got to be like the people we listen to on the video, appreciated by many.
Well, I appreciate you and Commissioner Washington for agreeing to support the idea of getting this van for our local veterans here in Rockdale County. And it has been widely used across the county, and it's a big deal. I think you're right about the two drivers. They're
really great.
They're great personality. They're patients, and you got to have people that have patience to be a part of a program like that. Well, I just want to highlight it.
And they're veterans.
And they're veterans. So that's a plus. That we have veterans driving the van, they can identify with the folks that are serving. It makes a big, big difference. Just before I call up, I'll call up Executive Director Holmes. Come on up. There's been some inquiries about our upcoming job fair that you all are doing and planning. And if you just give us the date and tell us a little bit more about where, who, what, when, where, how, and that good stuff. Folks are interested in employment.
Yes, good morning again, Chairman, Madam Commissioner. So on June 27th, we will have our annual employment summit. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Yep, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's actually on a Thursday. And the one thing, we're partnering again with the Rockdale Career Academy, so that's going to be the location, great location. We'll have resume workshops there. We'll be doing interview tips. We're also going to be doing a Dress for Success. And Chairman, Madam Commissioners, every year when we do this event, we hire people on the spot. So a great opportunity for people to come out and find employment with Rockdale County. Right now we have 36 positions posted on our website. I welcome you to definitely go and take a look at that. I'm just going to put a plug in there for the lifeguards for Parks and Recreation. I know I was speaking with Tahira last week about that and the importance of having lifeguards right now. But in addition to that, we're constantly hiring for our public safety officials as well. E911, the Sheriff's Office, Rockdale County Fire Rescue. So June 27th, our annual employment summit. This is our 6th year hosting this event.
This is 6th year.
Yep. And so we are excited to be able to bring it back again. And this is a community event. So all of our departments will be there on site with hiring managers, decision makers on site. So come on out, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., June 27th, Rockdale Career Academy.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Executive Director.
I have a question about, do we have a veteran's preference as part of our employment policy?
We do have information for veterans, specifically looking for veterans in terms of employment opportunities. And part of Rockdale University is going to be a big focus that's going to be coming out in terms of the programs that we're going to be offering for veterans. So yes, if they're interested, we definitely welcome to come out and see us.
Very good.
Thank you.
And Chairman, I'm going to give the contact for it as well. Claudette Rancifer, she is our recruitment and retention manager. Our office number, 770-278-7575. And again, that's 770-278-7575. Claudette Rancifer. She's over that program.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Executive Director Holmes from Talent Management. We've got a career fair coming up on June the 27th at the Rockdale Career Academy. Absolutely. Don't miss out. Make sure you dress for success. And she said, Director Pete, that they're going to be hiring on the spot. That's just good news for somebody. That's just real good news for somebody. I want to take a moment and call up Deputy Director Barnum from EMA. She's always ready. And tell us, because I've been paying attention, I think there's a new focus shifting to the eye on the tropics. We're entering that season, that climate where we're going to be getting some of these storms and what. Tell us what we should be alert to, Deputy Director, and any other update in the EMA world that you want to provide for us.
Sure. Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners.
Good morning.
So the National Weather Service did release their prediction for the upcoming hurricane season, and they're calling it above average. However, that just means that there's going to be more named storms. It doesn't really say if we're going to have more on landfall, but we are preparing for worst case, as always, preparing to have some storms make landfall, and part of that is making sure that we have the infrastructure to support those counties along the coast if they have to evacuate. So we're in conversation with them in the state and making sure that we're available for that. And then also helping with our county resilience, making sure that we have the infrastructure in place to make people aware of when there are disasters and when they need to shelter in place. We do a lot of things to try to make sure people have the information about creating their own go kit and knowing what they need to do. So we update all of that through our social media. We work with PR pretty much constantly about new videos and Channel 23 and updating the billboard, things like that.
Very good. Any additional news on the weather alert sirens? I know you all did some testing, and Director Morgan did give us an update. Any additional information you want folks to know about that?
So the sirens are in the ground and they've undergone their tone testing. We're troubleshooting a couple on the north side that are having a little bit of difficulty sending the message back to the head radio on the south side. And once we get that ironed out, which should be very, very simple fix, we should be able to iron that out in the next couple weeks, then they will be live once they get their FCC approval.
And my understanding, those are particularly for outside alert.
Yes, sir. They are only for outdoor warning. They are not, sirens are not made to be in residential areas anymore. They are specifically made for outdoor. The way we build houses now makes for a very sturdy house, but also make sure that you can't really hear the sirens. So they're not made for neighborhoods and subdivisions. They are catered specifically to alert those individuals who are in our park system so that they can have the proper notice.
And Deputy Director, one other thing, there is a digital device, folks. What is that system where folks can receive the alert by way of what is that actually called?
So we have something called Rock Warn, and you can text Rockdale to 67283. That's Rockdale. Doesn't matter if it's all caps or not. To 67283. And once you do that, you'll get a link to create a profile. Then you create a profile and you can choose to receive severe weather alerts. Now, those severe weather alerts that you receive are going to be generated from the National Weather Service. So that means that you might get an alert at a crazy time at night, depending on when the Weather Service sends those alerts. But we do highly encourage that everyone do that.
Very good. Very good.
Mr. Chairman, just to add on that, it's important, we learned during the tornado that you have that turned on in your settings.
Oh,
yes. Some of the issues that we
Good point, Chief. You got to have it turned on in your settings on your phone.
Right, it's just like you can turn off an Amber Alert. It's similar.
Right.
So you need to check.
So the Rock Warn is something that you can sign up for, and you can get a phone call, a text message, or an email. But then those alerts that happened in the tornado were something like an Amber Alert that you can turn off and on.
Okay, well, all that was great information. I'm glad the Chief added that extra piece about turning it on in your settings too, because you can get the alert, but if you don't have it turned on, you won't get the alert.
Right.
So that makes it, that's digital there, absolutely technology.
Yes. And I also wanted to plug, we have a CERT interest meeting. So CERT stands for our Community Emergency Response Team. This is an amazing group of individuals made up of our citizens and our employees who we put through a vigorous training process, and they are trained in everything from search and rescue to traffic control to radios, everything that we can possibly train them on to assist us with a disaster. And these individuals were a great help after the tornado. We used them to help distribute supplies and food, so they're just an amazing group. And we have an interest meeting if you want to be a CERT member on June 6th at 6 p.m. And it is at JP Carr. If you cannot attend, you can go onto the website, onto the EMA page, and fill out an interest form, and we'll send you the same information.
So do you have refresher courses on that? I
Yes,
took the
so-
CERT training right after I was first elected, so back in 2015. I still have my backpack with all my stuff.
Yep, ready to go. Handy green backpack.
Uh-huh.
So we train new classes, and then those new classes get put on a schedule for refresher courses. We put on refresher courses about once a year, so we'll be sure to invite you to the next one.
Get on the list.
I think it's about that time for a refresher course.
Very good, Commissioner. That's good. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Director. Thank you so much. Very quickly, I'm asking Director Simpkins from Stormwater. They've got a big project out in the Lakeview Sunrise community, and I certainly want him to give the key word here is brief. A brief update. Just just hit the hot spots, and we'll move from there. Director Simpkins. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, Madam Commissioners, good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
to see you all. Yes, we are. We've made a lot of progress out there at that Lakeview Sunrise Estates community. The upper road, which is Lake Rockaway Road, we have all of our base flow pipes in and our overflow pipes in now. We are currently just now bringing the roadway back up so that we can prepare to install the roadway component, and we will be good to go. All stormwater infrastructure is in on that upper dam. Once we finish the upper dam, get that completed, then we will be mobilizing to the lower one to get that lower road, which is Frontier Drive, back open. So we've made significant progress out there over the last couple of months, and we're continuing to move forward and get that open. But I will say, hot spots. There are so many hot spots that I want to address just a couple briefly. Our in-house crews have been hard at work throughout the county. When you talk about these storms and these tropical systems that we will get the remnants of through here, it is very important that our county ditches and our cross drains are cleaned and open so that they can catch that rainwater that we get from these storms and convey that rainwater through our stormwater system into local creeks and rivers in the Rockdale community. So my in-house crews, I just have to shout them out. They're very busy getting these ditches and these cross drains cleaned out. So that's really it. Just a couple of the locations, just so citizens know where we are. Okay. 855 West High Tower Road, Cherry Hill Court, Stanton Road, Bortusk Road, Old Camp Trail, Flatbridge Road, Zingara, Clubhouse Drive, Blue Ridge Lane Southeast, Rock Mill Lane Northeast, Good Road, Klondike Road, Springway, Smyrna Road, Hampton Trail. These are just a few of the locations that our in-house crews have been working hard to get these ditches cleaned and get these cross drains pipes open. Them being able to catch this water is very important to the traveling public, and we are out here making sure we keep you safe. That's it.
Thank you, Director. We appreciate the hard work stormwater management teams continue to do. Certainly appreciate the update of what's happening out at Lakeview Sunrise Estates. I really appreciate from EMA and all of our departments the proactive work, getting ahead of the issue. Deputy Director Barton did a great job talking about what's coming and how they're classifying this particular season that we're entering, but being proactive. And then she went on to talk about the CERT training and doing the refresher for those that want refresher training so they can be prepared. Again, being proactive instead of being reactive. That is very, very important. I also want to highlight in my comments a big shout out to the Miller's Chapel Church. Pastor Johnny Sutton and Miller's Chapel celebrated 123 years of worship service here in Rockdale County as a church. Amen. And 123 years at Miller's Chapel, been out there on the south side on that little hill out there, and they had a packed house both at the 11 o'clock and the 2:30 worship service. And I will tell you, at the 2:30 worship service, Chief Mack, it took me way back, because those mothers at the church, executive director relatives, they had all the food from, I mean, they did it. They had the I saw the potato salad, the collard greens, the fried chicken, the baked chicken, and then wait a minute, I saw the mac and cheese. But here's what I saw. They had a pound cake. It was a pound cake. I mean, Alandra, that pound cake must have came straight from heaven. I mean, I don't know how long, and I had to find out which one of those ladies was familiar. And the mother, she was all dressed in white too. She raised her hand and she smiled from ear to ear. She says, "Baby, I made that one right there." And I said, I had to get her number because, I mean, all I was allowed to have, Mr. Turner, was a slice. They wouldn't give me but a slice because they had the whole congregation feed to it. I said, let me get your number because the next time we need a pound cake at the house, I'm going to get, I mean, that's an event right there. Somebody will think of the best cakes in Rockdale and get that Blue Ribbon Award. That's an event right there, Landra, by itself. But Miller's Chapel celebrate. I was telling you about the church. I got caught up in the pound cake. But Miller's Chapel was celebrating their 123rd church anniversary. Y'all, let's give Miller's Chapel a round of applause. Absolutely. You know, the truth be told, we've got some cooks in Rockdale County. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We have some cooks in Rockdale County. I want to shift just for a moment as I wrap up my comments this morning. I want to shift because we're in a what I'm going to call as a fellowship season. There are so many people having backyard barbecues and cookouts and get-togethers and all different kind of reasons to fire up the grill and bring people out. Well, that's good. But here's what I want to say. We want you to be safe and mindful of your neighborhood, your community, your subdivision. And if you know that you were going to invite all 300 of your cousins, before you invite them, please go out of courtesy to your neighbors, go let your neighbors know your cousins are coming. Then tell your cousins in advance. Don't block anybody's driveway.
Absolutely.
Then don't take up the entire road. Try to figure out that if you know you got cousins coming from Alabama, South Carolina, all tweaks in different parts of the South, you may need to consider some type of shuttle program because the fire truck, the police car, the ambulance, all of those folks, the neighbors, can't get down the street because you done just took over the neighborhood. Now let me shift one more time. I hope y'all got that message. The Rockdale County Sheriff's Office, Rockdale County Fire and Rescue, and Code Enforcement has been out for the last couple of weekends as some people have it in their mind that they want to do whatever they want to do. Well, we have ordinances. You can't do whatever you want to do. You have to make sure that you are following the Rockdale County laws and ordinances. We have to protect the entire community. Now let me tell you, if you're posting on any social media platform that you're charging folks to come to your pool party, your get together, if you done shipped in an elephant from Africa, or you have a tiger inside of a cage, or you decide you want to get two folks in a boxing ring and duke it out, you are in violation of the Rockdale County law, and chances are you're going to be cited, if not taken to jail. I want to put that out there because the burden has been on code enforcement. And guess what? They've got to do their job. It's been on the fire department and the sheriff's office. They've got to do their job. Folks, you just can't do anything and have a whole circus or zoo in your backyard of folks and just think you're going to shut down an entire subdivision. And now we're tracking. And when we identify that you're on social media and you're charging folks. You can't own a house. Let me put it this way, Chief. You can't own a house on the north side and own a house on the south side and use the house on the south side as the party house. And you're not gonna live in it, but you just gonna send folks out there and charge folk $20 for this. You can't do it. That's a problem. And you put a burden on our public safety personnel, but also it's disrespectful to your neighbors. Folks don't buy homes to turn into a resort or entertainment venue. Again, you having a cookout, fellowshipping with your family and friends and all that good stuff, that's fine. You need to do that out of decency and order too. Let folks know if you have 300 of your cousins there. But this thing of charging and turning your home into an event venue, you are violating the law. You're violating the law. I had to put that out there because and hats off to Sheriff Levitt and Major Tate and to Chief McDaniel and to Director Njoku and Chief Heron from Code Enforcement. They've done a great job collaborating and putting a stop to this stuff. Sometimes we don't know it. Let me say this. Sometimes we don't know anything about this because people are doing what they want to do, and sometimes our officers, we don't find out about it until the day of. There's a program we implemented called See Something, Say Something. We can't be all over the place at one time. Okay, if you see something, let us know. I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out because, and I'm hoping that folks, we want people to have a good time, but you got to be respectful and mindful of the rules and laws and the ordinances and the safety factor. The last thing we want is something to happen, you can't get an ambulance or a fire truck or a police car down a roadway because the roadway has been completely taken up. Last point, I have to say this one. So commissioners, y'all know I've given my number to everybody, and everybody calls me, or they text me. I will say they started to text me. They've been texting for a while. I'm proud of the fact that they text, but they text me everything. We have a citizen, I'm putting it out there, we have a citizen who is literally on patrol, and the citizen is looking for pop-up barbecue grills. Now, the county has an ordinance. Yeah. You just can't pop up your barbecue grill on any corner, any gas station. You just can't pop up your barbecue grill. I don't care how good your ribs are. I don't care how long you smoke your sausages. You just can't violate the law. Now, we don't have enough code enforcement people to be out there. That's just not what code enforcement is all about. We get a call, we have to investigate. So we got a citizen has taken upon himself. And on Saturday mornings, this citizen gets up early and he's riding and patrolling all through Rockdale County looking for pop-up barbecue grills. And I had to even catch myself. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I love me a full-bone rib sandwich. I said, boy, that'll be the bad picture right there of getting the chairman. You know, everybody got video cameras now. They get me on videos standing up to Mr. Timmons' grill, getting a full bones. I said, well, I can't do it. I can't do it because everybody's watching you. So Commissioner Washington, don't get caught on camera.
Thank you.
Going to an illegal pop-up barbecue grill, and don't let that smoke lure you in.
The pop-up line.
I'm just saying. So I wanted to put that out because I've even had some citizens who want to know, can they just roll their grill out there and just sell barbecue? No, you can't. You can't do that. But please know, we don't know where all of them are. There is a citizen who's on patrol, and he's taking pictures, he's getting addresses and locations, he's sending them to us, and then we're sending code enforcement out there. Absolutely. And I've given the code enforcement officer, I've said this to him, Commissioner Williams, don't go out there when you're hungry. because you get caught up and you're supposed to be addressing the situation from a professional standpoint, and you get to mess around and bought a full-blown piece of rib. I'm just saying.
And some lemonade.
So don't be a part of the problem. Because I know I wouldn't send Chief
Ask
back.
me how
I
I know.
She'll be done.
With some light bread. Some light bread.
So let me reel this back in. But I just thought, Director Bonham, I'm just trying to just put it out there in a, let me say something. You have to speak real language to people when you're communicating about real world issues, and you have to speak the language where people can understand it. I'd be sitting up here faking and being a big phony if I hadn't tell you I ain't never been to a pop-up grill and got me a rib sandwich, because I've been, and some of those guys do a good job. But what they got to do, they got to get legalized.
Darn
they got to come in and get legal. They got to get legalized. Absolutely, because enough on that.
And safety inspector. I mean,
All of that.
the reason is because we have to take the safety of our citizens very, very seriously.
Absolutely.
And if something happens because of their barbecue, then it's going to be bad for them and bad for us and the citizens.
And because of that, Commissioner, I wanted to make sure I clarified everything and took the liability off of the county. We're not authorizing people to go. In fact, we have an ordinance that speaks against it. You can't do it. That's what I'm saying. Clearly, you can't do it. And there's nobody out there that can say that they have a license for a pop-up grill, because you have to have some certain criteria or some prerequisite information that must be in line with planning and zoning before you can do it. We can't even have that out there, so it's not happening. So if folks are eating from those folks, you're eating at your own risk. I'm just saying that. Just I'm gonna leave it right there. I think that I hope I've been able to articulate a pretty decent message about what we need to do and not do in that space this summer. School is about to be out. What's the last day of school? School's out. School is out. School is out. Okay, and those are the employees or the teachers I saw over there this morning at CJ Hicks. A whole bunch of cars are going out. So school is out. What am I really saying? Slow down. Slow down in the neighborhood. Slow down, slow down, slow down as you're moving through the neighborhood. And I'm watching the clock today at home, but I gotta say this thing. As you move through the neighborhoods, slow down. When you're driving through a parking lot, the grocery store, I was coming out of Publix, and I had just bought that 18 count of eggs. And the way this person came through, and it wasn't a young person either, so you can't put it on the young people, came through right there at the main entrance of Publix. And y'all know I'm in and out of Publix all the time. I thought I saw those, in my mind, I saw my eggs ascending through the air. I jumped back to the door. You know, the doors open up automatically. I jumped back to the door just in the nick of time. And I bear hugged them eggs so they wouldn't go flying out of my hand into the park. When you inside of a parking lot, there's children moving, excited about the grocery store. There's senior citizens who are not as alert. There's regular people who just purchased some eggs and milk. Slow down. This is not just for the young people. This is for everybody. Slow down inside the parking lot of the shopping centers. Slow down. You're going to run over somebody, be a fatality right there in the parking lot of your nearest grocery store. I wanted to get that out because that's a serious matter there. And I wanted to make sure I said that because people sometimes, people aren't as courteous as they used to be. And they won't slow down for the young people and the senior citizen. Folk will argue with you instead of slowing down without. Just be safe. I'm gonna stop there. Executive Director Rutledge, is there any need for executive session this afternoon?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Happy Tuesday. This meeting is adjourned.